Good morning, everyone. This is Benjamin. Welcome to my channel. I am worthy. So for today, the title of this video is "What if?" Right. So that's a question that came up recently as I've been reading the book "Conversation with God." What if? What if the things that we know is not what it is? As we know in the past, we all think that the Earth is flat, and later on we know that it's not actually. Or there was a time that we think that the sun is the one moving around the Earth, which we know is not true. So the other question that came up recently is, what if there's no concept of time? What if time and space is all just a man-made concept? What if there's no past, there's no future? What if there's no there, it's just here, right? So same with time. What if this is all we have, just here, and just now, and just here, right? So that made me think about another book that I read before, which is this one here, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Right? So I read this book many years ago, and at that time it didn't make sense to me. So when I got this book, I came across this section which I think is interesting, and I've been thinking about it more lately, like I said, which makes sense to me, and I just want to share this one. So here it is. It says that as you grow up, you form a mental image of who you are based on your personal and cultural conditioning. We may call this phantom self the ego. It consists of mind activity and can only be kept going through constant thinking. The term ego means different things to different people, but when I use it here, it means a false self, created by unconscious identification with the mind. To the ego, the present moment hardly exists. Only past and future are considered important. This total reversal of the truth accounts for the fact that in the ego mode, the mind is so dysfunctional. It is always concerned about keeping the past alive, because without it, who are you? It constantly projects itself into the future to ensure its continued survival and to seek some kind of release or fulfillment there. It says, one day when this, that, or the other happens, I'm going to be okay, at peace. Even when the ego seems to be concerned with the present, it is not the present that it sees. It misconceives it completely because it looks at it through the eyes of the past. Or it reduces the present to a means to an end that always lies in the mind projected future. Observe your mind and you'll see that this is how it works. So yes, I mean that's very interesting. Yes, like I said earlier, I talk about what if there's no past, there's no future? What if that's all it is, just now? What if everything's happening? What if there's no reincarnation, there's no karma? All these different concepts that we heard of, or at least I read about it also. So now with coming into this concept, the mind, the ego, going back to what we talked about before also about the body, the mind, and the spirit also, right? So it's interesting how all of this actually interact. And yes, come to think about it, when I think about myself, who am I always think about my past, right? I was born in the Philippines. I grew up in a Chinese family. I speak 3 different languages. I went to this school. I went to this training, and now I'm here. So that's what the ego identify me to be, right? It's my past. And as I talk about, that's why the ego keeps wanting to protect the past, keep thinking about it, which is not helping. And at one chapter, I talk about the monkey mind. That's what it is. The past is actually very depressive. That's really depression. Again, the future. That's what the ego is talking about, the future too. When this happens, we will be like that. So that's again identity, what the ego, the thinking mind is trying to do also. And yes, we know that the more we think of the future is actually more about anxiety also. So yeah, I think it's, I don't have the answer. I'm just reading things that make sense to me, or what I read this morning was something like, if it serves you, it's good. But if it doesn't serve you, then maybe it's time for a change. And that change is basically called evolution, you know. So it's interesting. Again, I love to think about these things. Probably, like I said earlier, you know, we are actually a three-part body: the body, the mind, the spirit. A lot of us just stay in the first level, which is just the body. You know, the mind, the creativity, that's something that's important. And for me, doing a video like this is a creativity, and all the arts that you see hanging on my wall here, that's my creativity. But from time to time, I also want to go another level higher, which is the spiritual thing, the spirit, the soul, thinking about what if and who am I? You know, from the book Conversation with God, the concept was we are God. You know, God, the spirit, the soul. The God just want to experience life. That's why we became a soul, and all of us are one. You know, we're just one spirit, one soul, and things like that. That's a radical concept. That's a concept that is hard because it questions the validity of institutions like, for example, religion, marriage, or even government. That's been discussed in the book also. Again, it's just something to think about. You know, I don't have the answer. One thing that stands out also from the book is that you teach what you need to learn. So I'm trying to bring this up. I'm thinking about it. Share that with you. If you like to put a comment there, we can, you know, have this conversation, and we'll see how that goes. Okay. All right. Anyway, as usual, until we meet again, I'm worthy. You are worthy. And take care. Be safe. And namaste.